Welcome to Stories from the Sidelines, the podcast coming out of Media Gang, where we talk to. Oh my god, I messed up. I hate doing it live. I'm restarting that. I don't care if anyone's in it. I don't think anyone is yet.
I think we have two people in it, but keep going.
I fucking love it. I love it.
So, let me start again. Hold on. Welcome to Stories from the Sidelines, a podcast coming out of Media Gang, where we highlight the different people in paintball that are unsung heroes, such as photographers, media, anything like that. Today we have Josh of Yosh Designs. Josh, do you want to just start by just telling people who you are, what you do?
My name's Josh. As Sam just said, I'm the owner of Yosh Designs, and I am a photographer and videographer based out of Dallas, Texas. Yeah.
So are you actually like in Dallas, or like?
No, that's what everyone fucking says. Like, technically speaking, I'm in Rowlett, which is like 30 minutes outside of Dallas. But I figured anyone that's not in the Texas area, just everyone says Dallas.
Yeah, I feel that. I live when I lived in West Palm Beach. I didn't live in West Palm Beach. I lived in Waxahachie.
Oh, there's a Waxahachie in Texas.
Yeah, is there?
Yeah, that's where paintball fits at. Yeah, that's where paintball fits at.
Yeah, so Waxahachie became a bit of a tourist attraction not too long ago when Tiger King dropped. Because in the first episode, they talk about this place called Lion Country Safari in like the first 10 minutes. And where I lived was literally right behind Lion Country Safari. You could hear lions roaring.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, so but no one knew until then what Waxahachie was. It's just West Palm Beach. You might as well just tell people that.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm from middle of New Jersey. Nothing crazy. That's all right. But yeah, I mean, I got a question for you. So, I mean, just to start things off,
yep, let's jump into it.
Your Yosh Designs, like how did you come up with the name? Because everybody has like a little backstory.
Right. So, basically, I used to DJ for about 10 years or so, and the name. Well, it was actually a different pronunciation. So my name's Josh. So the way I used to pronounce it was Yosh. So it's but just spelled Yosh. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah. So I started DJing and everything 10 years back, and kind of kept with that name for a while. And then when I got into photography and got more into paintball, kind of just transitioned over. I was trying to figure out names, working on logos, trying to figure it all out, and after kind of beat my head on the wall, it just kind of seemed natural. So I went with Yosh, and then since at the time I was doing a lot of graphic designing, so making flyers, logos, etc., I was designing. So put the two together.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
At first it was Yosh Media, and then I was I didn't really like it so much, and then I was designing more, so that kind of went with it. But
I actually have a question. Did you go to school for graphic design or anything like that, or is that all self-taught?
So I did, but I didn't really learn much, if that makes sense. So I went to college. I haven't graduated, but I took the core classes so that I could learn the fundamentals of Photoshop and Premiere and After Effects and stuff like that. And then that taught me the basics, but I learned everything just off of YouTube. Literally just watching videos, figuring out how to do graphic designing, and then just kind of working on that. Dude, college is overrated, man. You, especially in a graphic designing and photography world, you can learn everything you need to off of YouTube, and then just hone in on your craft.
Yeah, real world experience.
Just work on it all the time. Exactly. So,
sweet.
No, that makes a ton of sense. I bought a $20 masterclass for Adobe.
Exactly. Yeah, there's
stuff
beneficial.
Yeah, stuff like that is super beneficial, and just a lot of the little things all the hotkeys and transitions and shortcuts and whatnot. That's really what you want to know.
Exactly.
Because especially for what we do, paintball photography, you're not going to walk into a classroom who's I want to do paintball photography and videography. Is teach me what it is. It's well, here's the fundamentals of photo and video, but I feel it's not as pointed as what a lot of people want. And I feel now people aren't really looking for hey, give me this general background and knowledge of the subject.
That's the thing with the schoolwork and stuff, it's like it'll teach you the basics of like how to operate a camera, you know, what an f-stop is, maybe what an aperture is, and kind of give you the fundamentals of it. But as far as knowing how to like set up your camera and like what to do and how to treat different situations, I don't think you're really going to learn that in the classroom.
No, exactly. Those are real world experiences that it just comes with like trial and error. 100%.
Yeah,
it's a trial and error.
That's what a lot of it was. Like, you should see some of the stuff that I put out when I first started. It was god awful.
I mean, we've all been there.
I actually want to speak on when you first started and everything like that. Really based on that. Well,
yeah. So I first started about, I think I want to say 3, maybe 4 years tops. And it was really simple. Like I was kind of like wanting to get into photography. It just kind of fascinated me. Like, I liked the art of it. And then my dad just literally bought me like a Canon Rebel T3i. Okay. And so I was like, okay, let me go, you know, test it out. And I was just, you know, taking pictures in my backyard and stuff like that. And I've always loved paintball. So then I slowly started bringing the camera out, like trying to figure out things. Actually, Nick Mays with Mason's PB.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He let me borrow his lens, which was like a 70-200. I want to say he still has it. I think it's a 70-200, like f4 or like f2.8. And he uses it to take his little pictures for his markers and stuff like that. Just ginormous lens for that. For those pictures.
Yeah.
Imagining like him being on like the other side of his apartment. It's so close. But yeah, so he let me borrow it, and I was like, I really like this lens. And I kind of started getting into video work, started like just taking photos and stuff with my team at the time, which was Texas Phalanx. And then
they fell apart, right?
Yeah, they just fell apart. So they were kind of together. We were doing well. It was like, I'd say the highlight of it was when like me, Ice, which is now he's with AC Diesel, and a couple other guys like David Bible, who's with Ultra, and some of the other dudes. And like, we all played at the same time. And it was kind of like the highlight of of that team.
Yeah, because I played against Phalanx like once or twice at NXL.
Yeah. So it's kind of gone. Unfortunately, it's gone away from there. But
yeah, going back to, so Mason's let you borrow this gigantic.
Yeah, let me borrow the lens. Exactly. Yeah. And so I started kind of getting into it. And then from there, I just kind of fell in love with it. And then I sold that lens, got a T5i, then got a T7i, and then just kept upgrading, you know, and like testing out different cameras and stuff like that. And then throughout the years, just kind of grinding it. And I think the one person that ended up like really helping me all the way through and kind of teaching me the ways was Marcos Broadus.
Yeah, which I love his work. His photo work is so nice. It's so
in my opinion, I would say he is hands down the best like paintball photographer in the business.
Oh, yeah. No, I've got to agree.
I know.
Like, at least in Texas, he's one of the best.
Yeah, I feel like there's some phenomenal photographers, and people have certain looks. Like Doug has like an amazing look. Jonathan Grego, you know, great looks. Duo Venture. I mean, they all have like certain looks and aspects of it, and I think they're like really phenomenal. And maybe I'm just, like I said, maybe I'm biased just because
Texas.
I worked with Marcos a lot. I'm from Texas, so I'm like, oh yeah, he's the best. But I feel like some people just have like a natural look for it, and he's got it, you know. And the things that I can see him do and the way that he captures moments. Another person I really love is, which she unfortunately hasn't been doing it for a while though, is 117 Media with Brittany.
117.
Another phenomenal photographer.
Yeah,
like,
she was really good.
She was like, her coloring and her editing, and then just the way that she would capture the moments. I feel it was just
met her for the first time 3 times in a row.
Yeah, well, because like, you know, that's pretty funny. When you look at like someone's photography, like, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but like anyone can take like a photo like off the break, right?
Yeah.
But there's another thing when you can actually capture like certain moments in time, and it's like capturing that like emotion. And I feel like both of them, it's very, very difficult. And I feel like both of them are like really, really good at that.
And I say this all the time. I think Grego does it so well. I think his candids are so good. I'm so jealous of him all the time. His portraits and stuff like that have been phenomenal. Which, by the way, Sam, like your portraits that you've been doing lately, me?
Dude.
I don't do portraits.
No, I said Sam.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah.
I thought you said
Thank you.
fam. I was like, whoa. What portraits are you seeing of
What portraits have you seen? No, Sam. Like your portraits that you've been putting out on Facebook, dude, have been immaculate, man. Like,
thank you. I really.
You have an eye for it, man. I suck at that.
I've been trying to learn, man. Just gotta keep it up. It's just hard with this. Like I can't get models and stuff. There's this one that I do because she keeps following me. She's like a big Twitch streamer, so I'm hoping to get her soon.
Yeah, I have a hard time with like just like working with models just because like I guess I'm really shy, so it's hard to like tell them like, hey, pose this, look this way, do this, you know. Yeah. Like, I can get the lighting, I can get that stuff right, but
all the technical stuff.
The technical stuff I can do, yeah. So
I need to interact and be social. It's like,
yeah. I'm like, you don't know what you're doing?
Come on,
it's not gonna work.
I want to reel it back towards Marcos real fast and just give him a quick shout out, only because I know I wouldn't be where I am without him. My first national event was World Cup.
Right.
I want to say 2018. And I literally had to ask him how he captures diving photos, and he went into depth.
Really? That was your first? That was my first event shooting too.
Yeah, that was my first national.
Because I was shooting. Because I was shooting for Kinetic. It was the first NXL event that I was shooting, and I also played that event. I played and shot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Shout out Amanda Setzer for bringing me chicken fingers and a Gatorade on
dude,
Saturday.
She's a beast on the field, man.
But yeah, so Marcos literally he told me exactly how to do it. He said center point autofocus, zoom out, crop in. And ever since then, I haven't missed a dive that I've wanted to capture.
Yeah, he helped me out a lot with that too, because like I didn't, like I said, like I was doing college, but I also learned a lot through YouTube. So it's like it's a lot of just trying to figure things out. And so he kind of like dialed that in and was just like, hey, here's some basic settings that you can use, like your shutter being at like 1,000 or at least like 500, and just be, basic stuff. Open up the aperture as wide as you can, simple things. And then that just like kind of helped me out like so much, because I was like, oh, now I get it. Like now I can actually take like legitimate photos or better photos.
Yeah. I'm still learning so much. I feel like I'm so far behind with so much. I mean, I don't even back focus. Let's start off with that. I don't even back focus.
I don't do it either, to be honest. I know some people really like it.
Michael Moore swears behind it.
I like autofocus. It's nice for sports.
Michael Moore is really solid too. He's really good too.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
Definitely top.
Yeah, like him, and then obviously like Gary Baum and everything.
Yeah,
who just like holds down the trigger and shoots everything.
Yeah,
man captures
literally nonstop. I mean, he's like Verbal. You might as well just be shooting video.
Yeah,
man, Verbal has been killing it lately with that.
I definitely.
So cool.
Yeah, I just talked to him the other day. I just realized like he was a full-time photographer. I didn't know that.
Oh, really? Yeah, I have no idea. No wonder, because I asked him what kind of body he has, and he says he has the A9 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah, he has like that. I think he has the same one as me too, like the A7 III, I believe.
And just like I was like, oh wow, okay, so you bought like a $6,000 camera body.
Exactly, and then like the lenses that he has, like I think he even has like a 200 and a 400. It's so expensive, and I was wondering that. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'll see him post up like during the middle of the day, like at 1 o'clock, and he's like editing photos. I'm like on your break? Like, how are you doing this? Like where's your day job? And
doesn't
then
he do like just all kinds of sports for like colleges and stuff like basketball?
Yeah. So from what he was telling me, I know he does a lot of like for the Mavericks, and eventually I think he wants to get on with the Mavericks, and then hopefully make that a full time.
We're actually gonna I've been in touch with him a little bit. We're gonna bring him on here at some point.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
We have a couple other people that we want to do first. That way we can hit a little bit more of the country and spread it out. But like he's definitely on the list.
Yeah, he's solid. And like I said, he's been learning a lot with how to do the GIFs and everything. And
and
that's
been sending me videos and stuff.
Yeah. So for someone that just shoots like photos only, he's doing a pretty good job.
You have a question, Robert? Should I ask mine?
Yes, I do. Sorry, just like
I see you like breathing in. So
I lost my spot. But yeah. So Marcos taught you a lot and kind of helped you get started.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now since I was going to ask you what kind of setup you run, but it seems like you run Sony.
So I run a Sony A7 III, and then I have 3 lenses. So I use the 70-200 f4 for video mostly. I use the 135 Zeiss prime lens for photos, just because it's a 2.8, and I really like the manual focus. It's just it's remarkable. That lens is so nice. And then I have a 24-70 Tamron, which I mostly use just for like in the pits.
Nice.
So yeah, those are my setups. And then I have a Rode mic, Rode Video Mic Pro, and yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the you have the lav mic for doing all the mic'd up
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah. So that's how I do it mic'd up. So I have this like little task cam thing, and I just wire it up. What's nice about it is, boy, it just pre-records onto the device itself. So technically, I can't hear what they're saying, but I've already have like the levels preset, and if I've worked on it and used it so many times that I know like it's going to work no matter what.
Yeah,
and so they're awesome.
Yeah, I picked up a Rode lav mic, so I can start doing some mic'd up stuff. I put out one video that was pretty funny.
I saw, man. I think a lot of people seem to like that. Like I was putting that up on YouTube, especially like the one I did with the ref with Pierce, and a lot of people seem to enjoy that. And yeah, I kind of got the idea from Cena with they did the wired up thing with GI.
The wired in.
Exactly. Yeah. So I watched that like years back, and I loved it. And I was like, this is so legit. I was like, I should do something like this.
Yeah, so, I got the idea to do mine from you, actually.
That's funny. Yeah, no, Cena was, I think in my opinion, one of the first people, and that guy's.
Wouldn't surprise me.
That guy's a powerhouse, man.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, he's super good at what he does.
Yeah, and the man behind all of Ghost Sports and DXL.
Yeah, we would love that. We would love to bring him on. I don't know him personally, so if you guys...
Yeah, he's from here too.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. I think Dallas area or somewhere like that. Yeah.
Actually, I have a question. Just because, like, I'm sure a lot of people didn't really expect it. You grew really fast.
Yeah, like fast.
Like,
so
like one day you had 1,000, next day you were at 10.
Right. So I mean, I think there's a couple things for him. I think the biggest thing was the YouTube algorithm that just randomly happened, kind of the same way TikTok brings you in, but I'll explain that. But like the YouTube algorithm that made me end up hitting that like million views on
that TMG video.
Yeah, the TMG video, which itself decent video, but the shit talking at the beginning is what kind of stole it. Mm-hmm. And I think it was just like YouTube's algorithm that just like kind of blew that up. But the one thing that I feel like I'm really good at is marketing. And I feel like that's where a lot of people like fall behind. Mm-hmm. So like, in my opinion, there's better videographers and better photographers than myself. Like I could just name off so many people. But where they lack is their marketing.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to get their name out more. They don't know how to like put out the content continuously to draw in or use the hashtags properly, you know what I mean? Or to share it to multiple groups or, whatever it needs to be to get your name out there more.
Yeah.
And then that's where they fall behind. And
no, it makes a ton of sense. I mean, you gotta make the platform work for you, and like there are certain tips and tricks. Like a lot of that stuff, you could just Google a lot of that stuff, and it helps out. Yeah, somebody that I do think that has been doing it well recently and starting to pay dividends. I mean, we talked about this off air, but as Solar's photography. I mean,
yes,
companies are starting to hit him up and like
in some work.
Yeah,
I give it up some. Yeah,
I shoot with him. We put together like photo video packages because he lives over in PA, so it's like he's actually coming to my house Saturday night because we were shooting TSXL on Sunday. We were supposed to shoot Saturday as well, but the D3 event got canceled, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. But yeah, no, it's cool.
He's doing really, really good. I really like his like videos and stuff on YouTube, and it seems like I'll take little pieces that he's doing, and I kind of see it like in reverse sometimes too. Like I feel like he'll take some pieces from me, maybe not, maybe he's just coming up with it himself. But regardless, that dude has just been like killing it nonstop, especially with his raw videos. And it seems like now he's getting that sense of like how to market himself and how to like keep pushing it.
Yes.
Like I'll see in some forums and stuff where people are like, oh, who's the best, videographer? And I see his name popping up and I'm like, that's good. Like, I'm glad for him. Like,
yeah, no, he deserves a lot of recognition.
100%. Yeah, that kid he's killing it.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, Enrique Gonzalez, he lives out on Long Island. Like he just started, I don't want to say just started, but he's been doing it for like, I think maybe about a year now.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit over.
Enricography or something like that, right?
Life of Ernie. Yeah, it's like I forgot his Instagram handle, but yeah. So he's been doing. He started doing more video, and he's doing a lot of handheld stuff. And I was like, dude, it's like pretty good for handheld. He goes like, yeah, I got an IS lens and whatnot, so it helps out. It was like,
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now. But as soon as you really want to get to that next level, is like hone in how you pan and to get that smooth pan. I told him to watch you. I told him to watch Solus. It's like you'll see how smooth that they pan, and like then you'll watch other videos and you'll be like, oh damn, like
right.
It's like panning, like that's a tough skill to just like not be having a jerky motion.
I think also like playing paintball for so long definitely helps you like have an eye for it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it does in the day. I think it's also like it can work against you. Like to go back on Marcos, if I remember correctly, Marcos didn't really play too much.
Really?
Yeah, I think he just kind of stepped into paintball, and I might be wrong on that. So, but I think I remember like talking to him about it, and so like his perspective coming into it was completely different than maybe like one of us, because we're like, oh hey, we play it, like we know, you know, stand on this sideline, you can get this type of view, or maybe you walk a field and you're like, you can kind of get this. But for someone that doesn't know paintball, they're coming in with a completely different perspective.
Yeah, and it makes their style super unique.
Exactly. So
and personally, like that's what I tell like a lot of people is like you'll see with new photographers is like they might be able to get like pretty decent pictures and like they'll get in focus and they'll like get the fundamentals right, but what you can't pick them out of a crowd.
Right.
Like anybody that's really good, you go look at a picture and be like, that's Stretch, that's Doug, and like and you're able to just like pick it out super easily.
That's what's like that's what I've noticed. Like Sam, I think you have your own look. I know like Doug has like that like real contrasty on the outside, like that. I forgot what it was, vignette look almost. Yeah, vignette. Hey, how the fuck you say it?
Turns vignette on high every single picture.
Always like crank it.
It works. Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Right? No, it does. Yeah. So like every person has their own look. Like even Verbal, you know, he has that kind of like real high contrasty.
Super sharp saturation.
Something I always high.
Yeah. So each person has their own look, and I think that's great because like you should hone in on your craft and make it different. And not
exactly.
Look like everyone else.
Yeah, and especially like from the hiring perspective is like you want to have your own look. So it's like if somebody comes to you, it's like they want my look. They came to me for a reason. It's not just like it's somebody with a camera. It's like somebody to take pictures. It's like I'm looking for a specific type of look. And recently, like that's what I've been trying to hone in on. Just like make it easy so that it's like this is my work. If I scroll through Instagram and people are posting stuff, it's not that I know that it's my picture because like they hired me, but I know it's my picture because like this is my style of like editing and like how I want to capture something.
Yeah.
I just want to stop it for a second. So Matt Angles has confirmed that Marco's never played. He just started shooting paintball pictures during a birthday party and never stopped.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought. Yeah, Matt's good friends with them.
Yeah. Shout out Matt. Matt hops in the chat also.
Another big boy.
Yeah. Do you know of Chief Media? Have you known him that long?
You know, I am with the whole tribe strong, man. Like with the whole Maple Leaf Chiefs and stuff like that. I rep them, man. That I didn't know that Matt designed those jerseys. Mm-hmm. And then when I saw him see him posting out and everything, I'm like, dude, you're phenomenal. Like, forget NXL Media. Just do jersey designs, man. You're killing it. Like, just murdering it.
Oh my God, it was such a cool time. Like, I don't think you could really find like any of the pictures that have the Chief Media watermark. Like the only picture.
The old one, where he had the. Yes, I know what you're talking about. He took photos of me.
Yeah,
the hairdress. Yeah, he took photos of me in Cali, and when I was playing with Phalanx and stuff like that, and I was like, dude, he's good. He's good.
Yep, classic Matt.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, curious, Josh. You don't really travel to NXLs much anymore.
No, man. So, so like the last one I was going to try to do was Vegas, and I ended up like making a post about it, but I have like really bad flight anxiety. And so I've been going to therapy with it, trying to work on it and stuff like that. And I had the teams booked and everything, which I felt really shitty about the situation.
Did you get a pro pass?
Yes, I was actually supposed to shoot for DLX. What's his name? God, I can't remember his name. One of the guys that works for DLX hit me up, and it's mostly because I got it when I was shooting with Houston Heat and stuff. Yeah. So like Sam Monville.
Yeah.
talk to them and everything. And then I was supposed to go shoot for them and then, some various other teams and stuff.
Okay.
And, I made it all the way to the airport and kind of just had like an anxiety breakdown and wasn't able to like go through it, honestly, to make a long story short. But even before that, I didn't really like traveling so much. It's just, I'm not a big fan of it. And just my personal opinion from like a business standpoint, not to throw any shade towards EXL or anything like that. I think they're a great, organization for the sport, but from a photography standpoint, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I don't.
You gotta. It's a workhorse. Like
if you're there to make money, if you're there to make money, it's not the place to do it. If you're there just because you want to shoot your friends and have a great time and maybe like break even and make a little bit of money or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. I think it's a good opportunity. I think it's a phenomenal opportunity to get your name out there more. More teams will see you because obviously you're reaching out teams that you are not in your area. Right. So it's just like, hey, this is a great way to just to put your name out there. And I think from that perspective, it's amazing. But if you're there to try to make money, you would just kind of hopefully like just go to the one that's locally. And
there's definitely a few guys that have been able to keep a consistent, good revenue stream from it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been here
Fava.
They've been here for like
for
10
sure.
years. They know how to get who to get.
For sure.
Same people.
But when you're thinking about like, the flight and then the hotel, and then you don't want to overcharge for teams because you don't want to be that, that douche. And then you got the media pass,
I think it comes to a point though that like you can charge a certain point because like, and I keep bringing up his name Fava because like I'm friends with him. Like we went to the same college and everything. Like I was one of the first people to ever hire him when he started doing paintball photography.
Right.
I was at Temple. It was like 3 like full, not like true X-ball matches, but it was 2 10-minute halves, like 20-minute matches, and 3 of them. And he charged me like $60. I was like, here's 100 because don't undervalue yourself. And he gave us like a 400 picture album. It was ridiculous.
The thing that's weird about paintball is how undervalue photographers are and like how much like more we should be charging. Like it's weird. Like if you think about like, let's say you're charging $150, $200 a team, like for the amount of time that we're just out there covering them and then the editing that has to go involved in it. Like, I mean, we're talking easily like, $300 to $500 worth is what it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah. If you put out a good product, you know what I mean? Yeah.
For sure. And then, we're over here, doing it for $200, It's
well, paintball being as expensive as it is for most people.
See, that's the weird thing.
Most, not all. There's definitely people that can afford it. But,
right.
You look at rosters for these people and there's sometimes 16-year-olds on there and stuff like that.
For sure.
Like who knows how they're paying for the event.
Right.
So, making it $15 a person or whatever, or $20 a person is way easier than
fair.
30. 40. But like, I agree. Like there should be more money into it, but it's
especially when you're like, even like risking your gear out there even more, you know what I mean? Like you're getting shot, like you're being out there all day to cover them, so, and then the amount of photos that they're getting edited and all that stuff, but it's a whole nother.
I mean, for me, like because I have Kinetic and like part of my sponsorship program that I do for my teams is that if you play NXL events that you get free media at NXL events.
I remember making a flyer for y'all and doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's not like the beefiest of albums because it's free media, but like at the end of the day, like you really only post like 5 or 6 like pictures from the event that like those are your favorites, and that's why I try to do is like so I won't give sequences because like I don't need to. Like I'm going to find the sharpest image in that sequence and like boom, that's it. Like that's really the one that you want anyway.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, exactly. Quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
But also for me, like I've been in paintball for a super long time and like competitively, and like I've just known a lot of people to go to NXL. So like now it gives me a reason to like go to NXL. Like I'll have like 4, maybe 5 teams, so I could shoot my team, still make it over to the beer tent with Julian Winans, get drunk as hell at the beer tent. Yep. No monster.
I do feel like, I do feel like if you are going to shoot the NXL, like the main thing for me would be like to try to get a pro pass to shoot the pros, not because you're going to get paid from the pros, but because they're going to get you the most views and stuff. Like
no, exactly. And that's the thing is like when you go into it, it's like whatever you really want to do. Like I've always wanted to have a pro pass. But like for me to go to like a NXL within the US, like for me to have a pro pass, like it doesn't make sense to me because all my teams that I am obligated to shoot, they're all in a divisional field. So like if I had a pro pass and didn't have any like obligations to go shoot pro, and it's like, oh, I got a pro pass, like I'll go to the pro field. Like go ahead.
I like it because you can utilize it to your advantage, and I use this as just like a marketing.
Oh, 100%. There's great.
If I take pictures of Marcelo Margot, you know what I mean, and then I send them over to him, I'm like, hey, here's some photos of you, and then he shares them, and it has my watermark on them and tags me. If I get the lucky, side of it, then it's benefiting me because I'm utilizing his followers to help me out.
Yeah, no, and I 100% agree with that. Like being able to shoot pro is definitely a huge, I want to say a huge milestone for any photographer because I mean, World Cup there was 150 photographers or 150 passes.
Yeah.
I think maybe 20 people actually had a pro pass.
Right.
So like you are in part of that like select group of people that do get to shoot pro. And then once you actually get there, like it's a huge boost because all these pro players, like if you
got the crowd behind you and with the flags and stuff. It just
it's definitely it's super cool. I 100% agree. But like for me personally, I would want to go to the pro field to go hang out with my friends that shoot pro media. Fava, go hang out with Matt Angles. You know what I mean? Like it's like for me, it's like it's a hangout session. Like that's what it
ends up being for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah. So but I definitely understand like the desire to go do it. And actually I had a pro pass, shout out Matt Angles. He hooked me up for this for Amsterdam because I played the event actually with
the Mudfest one.
Yeah, the Mudfest one. The one event that was a Mudfest all year. Yeah,
right. I saw the pictures from that and I was like, goodness, that's
horrible,
crazy.
So Matt got me this pro pass, and I was super super pumped before the event. It was like, yo, I'm gonna do it. Like I don't care like if it wears me out.
Especially with the teams out there because those are teams that you'll never see again.
Yeah,
so
you'll
like,
never.
Get the chance.
I have like 4 shots of Golden State.
Yeah.
That's it. But like I got a picture of Marcelo and Archie like in a breakout picture, and it's sweet, and it's like one of the only good pictures that I got because whenever I'd go to the field, like I had like matches in the morning.
Right.
Like I'm all disgusting and muddy. And it's like there's no way I'm gonna go home, shower, which the apartment is like 45 minutes away. Shower to then come back to the field.
Yeah,
to go take pictures. It's like
you're like pros.
Yeah. Like I love Matt, but it's like thank you so much for this opportunity. But like I shot like Thursday or whatever for the Nations Cup.
Yeah,
and it was like that's it. I'm not shooting any more paintball because our teammate Sunday too. So it was like
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Matt a little shout out too. Thank you for getting me the pass in Vegas.
Yeah, Matt Ingles and freaking Nick. How do you say his last name? Is it
Sansini?
Santi. Yeah.
Yeah, Sansini. He does like. Yeah, he is good, and I talk to him every now and again. Actually, speaking of him, we may be putting in a media team because I saw him post up his like getting the itch to play again.
Yeah. I saw Stretch even like talking some shit, and I was like, "My bad, I never responded to that."
For ICC, but yeah, we're gonna play X-Ball. So
what was this?
OPS.
OPS. I'm in.
You're gonna play the OPS one, yeah.
Outback Paintball Series. So it'd be like, hopefully, I need to try to get everybody on board and see like if it's actually gonna happen.
What's his name from over there?
Vic. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it would be
Vic is
super good.
Ideally, me, Vic, Nick, Solis, and then like I'd like to pull Grego to see if he'll come play.
Yeah, I saw you post about that.
And then Enrique, which would make Sam come up, fly up, come play. Like fly in spirit, and then they'll just drop you out like 20,000 feet. And like
the ticket's only $20.
Yeah, ticket's like $20, but you gotta take a parachute to get out of the plane. But yeah, come play.
You gotta fly the plane. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Right. Dude, Vic's been killing it though too.
Vic is so good.
Dude, he's
you've met him in person, right?
I have.
He's deaf, like right?
Okay, so funny story about that.
Yeah.
This is kind of a dick move, but I didn't know. So I didn't realize he was deaf. I didn't know that. Like I just saw his photography online, and I was like, Yeah, so I was like, that dude's killing it. So like on the field, he had his mask on, and I like went up to him because I noticed like because he has that certain painted mask or whatever.
Yeah.
So I walked up to him and I like tried to have like a full conversation. I was just like, "Hey, what's going on?" Da 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 da. Like, and I had my mask on because we're on the field.
Yeah.
And he's just
was he wearing his shirt? Was he wearing his shirt with the thing on the back?
Yeah, but it was on the back, so I didn't see that it said that photographer. So I'm just like having a conversation. It doesn't say a single thing, and I was like, "Okay, rude, whatever." And then I walk off, and then I saw like I think later on I saw him. I saw the shirt, and I was like, "I'm an asshole." Like this man staring at me, like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you staring at me?"
Everyone on the sidelines just heard you talking.
I didn't know. Yeah, like just having a full conversation. Didn't even know, and I was like, "Man,
it happens." But he's so nice. He's
very nice guy.
Such a
very nice guy. Yeah, and a really good.
Whenever I talk to him when he's on the field or something like that, like in between points, I'll usually have like my notes out on my phone.
That's what I do.
We have our masks on, so we can't see it.
He also has an app on his phone for voice to text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's legit.
So I'll bring it up.
I just saw him. I think it was like one of the NXLs. I think like Texas or something like that. And he's a phenomenal photographer. He just switched over to Sony.
He switched over like last year. So like he had like one in Canon and one in Sony, and I think now he's got both in Sony.
Yeah. Because he was talking to me about it and stuff like that, and I was mentioning certain things that I was using.
Yeah.
So,
Grego just bought like his third Sony body, which is like insane.
I like Sony. I don't know. I like Sony, but I also love Canon.
Waiting for that R5, baby.
Yeah, I hate Fuji. Don't ever get Fuji.
No.
Yeah, Fuji is ridiculously fast though. So I had the XT3, and I think it shot like 30 frames or 35 frames per second, and it was just like unbelievably fast.
You can also shoot what is it like as far as shutter speed? Can it go up to like 30,000?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. But with Fuji and Adobe, they don't really have the I guess it's whatever the however Adobe reads it. Oh. So like what would end up happening is like I would upload the photo and have these weird worming effects. Where, like if you're pixel picking, so you'd zoom in and you'd see all these like worms and stuff in it. And to anyone that's outside of paintball or not a photographer, they're probably just like, "Oh, that looks great." But any of us that are like zooming in to look for that sharpness, you're just like, "What is going on?" So I'd have to like
do that all the time.
Yeah, so I'd turn down the clarity a whole lot, like try to soften up the photo as much as I could, just to,
Yeah, no, and I edit on a 4K, like a 28-inch 4K monitor. So like when it comes to pixel, nothing gets missed. That's why like for my when I give out free pictures, it's like I'll take like 10,000 pictures, right? Like maybe 100 will make the album. It's like Rob, I know I watch you like change memory cards. Like I know you have pictures. Like it's free. It's if I don't like it, it's not making the album.
Don't have it.
But Matt Angles is also saying that he's going to bring out Nick for Cup. If Cup happens, I'm excited for that.
I haven't
seen it. I don't think it's going to happen.
I think it's going to happen.
No, it's happening, guys. Have some faith. It won't happen for you guys. It's only happening for us Floridians.
Yeah. That's what,
you guys aren't allowed in the state, but it's happening.
That's what Mikey was telling me. Like he thinks that it's going to happen. The little kid's coming up too.
Yeah, his stuff is good. His stuff is good, and he has a good in with the HK guys.
Yeah, he's got the name and everything, like little H and everything. Like, yeah.
So,
I want to kind of shift the conversation here because we're kind of just on everything.
Yeah, we really
are. You shoot for Go Sports right now.
I work with them a little bit. So Go Sports is, well, I guess you didn't ask your question.
I didn't.
I mean, what is the relationship like? How did you start working for them? Because I know that you did a lot of stuff for GI, and like did that like transition into them?
Right. So like GI is really big down here in Texas, which is due a lot to Greg Pauly. Like
which makes sense.
With the owner of AC Dallas and AC Diesel, and so being at Paintball Fit, that's where they practice a lot, and I know a lot of those guys, and so I slowly kind of started like just taking photos of them, getting pictures and stuff like that. Working with Greg a lot and just doing free video, just free stuff. Right. And now like I'm doing majority of their like graphic work, like with USXBL, cause he's all involved in that and so on and so forth. But anyways, so Greg's involved with GI, which is also associated with Steve Rabikoff. Right. So Steve Rabikoff runs a big event down here with the USXBL, so everything's kind of all connected. So I got in with them, essentially just doing kind of free media at first, and then they saw like, hey, he puts out good work. He's given us like free videos, like, because I would just record like the pro matches and stuff for free, like at the practices, and just give it to him and be like, hey, here's free footage. So once I got my foot in the door with them, Rab, who is also involved with Go Sports, because Go Sports is owned by GI. That's how I kind of got into that inner circle. And so once I started doing stuff for like Greg and Rab and getting involved with them, it's kind of how I got my foot in the door. And I've known Cena for a very, very long time because we used to play paintball together, because we're both from Texas and stuff like that. And so I've known him for a really long time, like when he used to play for Texas Storm and so on and so forth, him and his brother. And so kind of when I got into that is like how I started working with them essentially. And then from there, it's just been like constantly kind of just putting out work. And then eventually I got my first deal with Go Sports working with the Ultimate Shootout, which was
which looked like a ton of fun to shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I like the concept of it. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a new way to introduce paintball to people that are outside of paintball. And I think that's the whole focus of it. Obviously, you have like the Pro Tour with HK, which is phenomenal for people that play paintball. But I think this perspective is for, your mom and your dad, or, the person that just may turn on the TV and be like, what is paintball? And they're kind of trying to like solidify it and break it down a little bit. And I think it's a great thing to kind of work with. But
so one of the things,
go for it.
Okay. I was gonna say, one of the things I really like about the Ultimate Shootout is it's not strictly for like pro players or semi-pro players. They're bringing in people
now it's not.
Now it's not. So the beginning of it, the beginning of it was that, and there's a lot of people that are working with it, and so there's a lot of input and stuff like that, which is, I think, a pretty good thing. Like, there's a lot of people involved. So they brought in with the amateurs, the masters, the women's division, and I wasn't there to help record some of the new stuff, but from what I was told, like they tried to use some like drone footage and then like some GoPro stuff and trying to just do different angles and everything and trying to incorporate as much new stuff as possible. But I think the whole like mic'd up thing and then the two angles from the top and then having, two floaters shoot from the bottom, I think is like a great way to like really capture every angle possible.
Showcases it.
They do a good they do a good job, and I'll admit it, I don't have a
Cena is a mastermind when it comes to the editing and the production. I mean, he knows what he's doing. Like, and I give it up for them. And I think a lot of people may underestimate like how much work actually goes into a show like that.
Yeah.
Because that was my first time ever doing like a full production like show. Like I just showed up, I was told kind of what I needed to do, and then as I was like going through, I was also like learning a lot of stuff because I haven't done a lot of that. And it was a rude awakening. I was like, oh man, this is a lot of work. Like there's a lot of moving parts that are involved with it, and my hat's off.
Is an end goal to be a full-time Go Sports employee? Because I'm assuming you don't work there right now, or do you?
No. Well, like it's more of like contractor work. If I had to, put a title to it, but I don't really know. Like I enjoy working with them, and I like the thing that they're doing. But to be 100% honest, I like being my own employee. I like having my own name. Like, and I'll use the NXL as an example. Like when you think about the NXL media, there's a bunch of core group guys that are amazing, right? Like you got Matt, Nick, I think Connor was involved, Mike, and then Cameron, and then Marcus, right?
Yeah.
But as individuals, they're not really known, right? It's just NXL media.
That's not true.
Michael Moore
and stuff like that. Okay, yeah,
it's like PSP days, like.
But they're
but I feel like when you look at the NXL media, as much as you see the watermark and you might see their name, you just look at it as this is the media that the NXL is putting out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I see the picture that you're painting.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the same way that I look at like Go Sports and stuff like that. Like, yes, you have Cena that runs it, but there was obviously a lot of moving heads that are involved with it, like other cameramen and stuff like that. But you'll never know them, right? Yeah. So that's my perspective on it, is that I want to create a company or like a brand like myself and be known for the work that I do.
So do you do this full time?
No. So I work at FedEx during the day, and then I do graphic work at night, and then paintball stuff like during the weekend. And eventually, like I would like to do it full time. And I think that's the reason why I want to create like a brand itself, because as much as I love like working with someone else and everything, I like being my own boss and being able to do just kind of whatever I want to do.
Yeah. So you're in FedEx prison just like Doug.
You know, he was at FedEx?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's like shipping, isn't he?
No, he's a courier. He's a courier.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, whatever.
I'm crazy lately.
Yeah, Doug, whenever we try to get him to come in, he goes like, guys, I don't know if I can. I need to try to get off of work. He's like, FedEx prison is real. They won't let our boy out.
Dude, it's so insane right now, especially with
Doug
that's going on. Yeah, it's been like everyone is
sure, you guys are crazy busy with you.
Free Josh.
Insane.
Oh my God, we should make Free Josh and Free Doug T-shirts and with FedEx prison. I would be about that.
Do you have a headshot wearing your FedEx uniform?
Yo.
Yeah, dude, I did a portrait shoot. Like, I think it's on my Facebook. I'll have to post it again, but it was like Christmas time, and I did like these like 4 portrait shoots with my FedEx uniform. I was like holding packages and stuff, and it was like my glamour shots.
I bet those are hilarious.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Can you send those to me?
I will. Like, there's one where it's like where I'm sitting in a chair and it's like upside down, you know, where you have like your feet crossed and you have like packages around. It's
oh my God, that's totally going to be the thumbnail of the video. Thumbnail of this video. That's amazing.
But yeah, like so going back though to like Go Sports and stuff like that. Like I said, I love the group. I love working with them. I love the opportunities that they've given me, and even GI, because they have done so much for me. Like, they've helped me out and so much. I just think, like, from me personally, I like to have my own brand and my own name.
Yeah.
And, you know,
that's fair.
It's just like,
it's super fair. It's one thing to work for somebody, and then it's another thing to be your own boss.
Yeah. That's why I like working with like a lot of different like companies and stuff like that. Like, I like doing a lot of work with them and stuff like that, but I don't know if necessarily I would ever like go and work for them full time, because I feel
in-house,
you limit yourself, man.
And Matt Dunn agrees with you. He said that that being your own boss is a lot more appealing than working for a company.
Exactly. Like, I think the opportunities are there, and I love helping them. Like, I'll help GI anytime, or, you know, like DLX, or, you know, stuff like that, like any other company. But, you know, I like being my own boss.
Yeah. No, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. I mean, personally for me, I have a different opinion. I don't mind doing work for other people as long as
because you've done a lot of work with like HK and stuff, right?
But it has to get me to where I want to be. If it doesn't have any kind of benefit for me, there's no reason for me to do that. If I can do the exact same thing doing as all in media, there's no reason for me to go over there. So as long as it's mutually beneficial, I don't care if I'm under someone else's name.
Yeah, that doesn't. I agree with you on that completely. Like, if I'm getting the same benefit as they are, you know, or like somehow it's like helping me out and everything, then I'm 100% for like, you know, hiding my watermark and just going underneath the name that they need to go under, and, you know, doing what they need to do.
I float in both worlds, man. I'm an employee and I'm my own boss.
Right.
Yeah. Got my real job that pays the bills, and then I got 2 LLCs. We out here trying to get another one under my belt, trying to get into real estate.
So you got Kinetic, and then you have your photography stuff?
Yeah. So I was doing like some editing work for my cousin. He used to work as an instructor and a salesman for a private special forces private training company. So like all the stuff that I was like, I had to sign an NDA, and like I couldn't just do is like, hey, PayPal me. It's like, no, you need to have a tax ID, and I signed my first NDA with the Ultimate Shootout. Yep.
I was like, oh.
That's how you know you make it. That's how you know you make it.
I was like, oh, this is real serious.
That is real serious.
Like, we can't talk about nothing.
Exactly. That's coming up in the world.
Yeah.
That's a milestone that people don't tell you about. Is like,
yeah. Like I remember when we first got there, and they were like, we had like a little meeting about it, and they were like talking about everything, and I was like, oh, this is serious. I was like, got it.
I mean, did you make an LLC yet?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I have like Yosh Designs as like as an LLC and all that good stuff. So,
yeah. Because I mean, for people that are like getting into paintball photography or just like doing something on their own for themselves, like what a lot of people don't know is like you should 100% make an LLC. So now that you can start writing off expenses, and it also forces you to help keep track of your revenue and expenses and what you can do. A lot of times it's like a lot of things like gas, miles.
Yeah, you can write off all that. Like that's what I did. Like, yeah, when I made like my DBA and everything for my company, and then like you said, like I mean, not only obviously camera equipment stuff that you can write off, but like you said, like as far as like gas, and then the time that you like took there, the stuff that you ate, you know.
Oh yeah, just literally everything.
Yeah.
Paintball becomes one huge write-off once you have an LLC.
Mm-hmm. Just write paintball. And then,
oh, dude, for real. That's what I did. Vegas, everything. Food, alcohol, dispo stop.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Everything.
It's all business.
Yeah, it's all written down.
It's all written off. And I am, as the wallet of the media gangs, getting those credit card points for what I
There you go.
This man probably fly for free for the next 20 years because we just keep giving him money.
No, that's not true. That's not true. But
you don't have one of those
my credit card points are stacking up pretty nice right now. I'm saving them because I'm trying to do next year, like when it's coming up, I have like a big life goal of hitting 6 continents before the age of 60. Sorry, not before the age of 30. And I've hit 3 continents so far, but I got to do Africa, South America, and like Oceania, which is like Australia, New Zealand area. So anytime that I can like try to use points that help mitigate some of those costs, because like those flights are expensive.
Do you have one of those like credit cards for airlines?
So I have like Bank of America travel rewards. So it's like airlines, hotel, rental vehicle,
talk
anything.
to Engels. I'm sure he'll be happy to talk to you and tell you the best ones and like what to sign up for, because all he does is travel. I think he's like
I'm so deep into Bank of America. Dude, I'm so deep into Bank of America right now. Like I've been a Bank of America customer for I'm now 26.
I mean, you can still be
for 17 years
customer and have a airline credit card.
Yeah, speaking of that, like I thought Engels was actually going to pay for my ticket one time, and I was like way misunderstood what he meant. So it was like for Vegas, and he was like, if you need my Vegas like card or whatever, he was like, you can just use it to like fly out or something like that. And I was like, okay, like, are you going to pay for me to go to Vegas? Like, this would be legit. And what he meant was, hey, you can use my card so I can get the points. And then
like, pay me back later.
And then pay me back all the money and everything. And like, so like, I think what he wanted me to use was like just his point number. He was like, oh, if you're going to go here, just use my thing. And I was like, okay, great. Like, he's going to pay for it. Like, he's got that NXL money. This is legit. And then,
Actually, him in the comments, he racked up 500,000 miles in the last year and a half. He could fly around the world like.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
just like,
that's like, it doesn't hurt to get just a credit card specifically for travel, because he can fly around 7 times free. You could in a year and a half, you could have done that. It could be you going to 7 continents right now.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, I just like, I'm a big Bank of America fan, and like I've been so deep with them, and just like I'm in like their preferred rewards program, and like I'm
doing it all.
Like, just doing it all with them. I was just like, I'm ready to. I'm getting set up so that to like going to real estate and stuff. So like having those like
solid
preferential rewards and stuff, like it's gonna help me get like cheaper mortgage rates and loans and cut out fees and stuff. So like, trying to do big things.
The trip to Vegas, Rob already knows this because he was part of it. So I went through American Airlines, and I paid for the basic economy because it was the cheapest thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob could have brought me to first class. But what the lady pretty much told him, because I went on the same flight as him, she basically said, sorry, your friend was the brokest bitch here and cannot be upgraded because he got the basic economy, not economy. If I spent like $10 more, I would have flown first class there and back. But I couldn't because I paid $10 less.
Yeah. It's so funny because it was like just like at the very start of COVID. So like
Yeah.
people were, because I have like silver, I'm like the first level of frequent flyer milers. Like I worked hard to get that silver status. So like when I got it, it was like, yes, like I could like potentially get upgraded. It was like, but knowing like my mom, who's like, she's over 1 million miles for flying, and that's like base miles. Like, so she has like platinum status for life, and she gave platinum status for life to my dad because she's flown so much for United. So I get there, and it's like I walk up to the counter and stuff to check in, and he's like, "Are there any upgrades?" Oh, this is actually, sorry, this was before I even got on the plane. This is like the week of, and normally like if you get upgraded, like you got to get it like at the counter and not even at like earlier. So like I look at it as like I can upgrade to first class. Sweet, this is going to be the first time like I get the upgrade like on my own because of like what I've done. So I was super pumped, and I know with my status like I'm able to bring somebody. And when Sam hit me up, he was like, "Yeah, dude, I have a layover in Newark, New Jersey." I was like, "Why that? Well, one, why do you have a layover in Newark? That doesn't even make any sense. Like you're just like
$10
up
less.
and then like that way."
Trying
Like,
to say $10.
yeah, like that. I don't get that one, but nonetheless, like maybe we're on the same flight. Found out that we're on the same flight. And I was like, dude, like sweet, like I can, like if there's an extra seat in first class, I can pull you up with me because like I get that privilege because of my status, so that's no problem. And then when we get to the counter, like for the gate, that's when this woman was like, he didn't buy the right ticket. I can't do anything for him. I was like, I tried so hard to bring this man next to me.
I watched Rob get first on the plane. Sit down. He comes back. I'm sitting there like all the way in the back next to someone who can't smell right for some reason.
Right.
And we get off. He's like, "Yo, they serve like champagne. Like it was great."
I did not say that. I did not say that.
Crackers. I didn't even get
super bougie up there. Yeah.
I did not say. And I came to the back to visit.
You came to the back to use the bathroom. It's not the same.
I didn't use the bathroom back there. I came in to visit you. I used the bathroom in first class.
You came back. You were like, "Hey, you doing well?" And then like you disappeared.
You were in a window seat. Like, what am I gonna say? It's like, ask the people that are sleeping next to you to wake up and then come out to like chill for like 5-10 minutes as you're already watching a movie.
Yeah, you're in the middle of watching a movie. You probably had big TVs. Probably had a bed. I was sitting there. They were sleeping next to me. How'd it feel?
I love it.
It wasn't too bad.
It's not your fault. It's my fault. But I'm blaming you. Should have tried harder.
Yeah, but going back on topic. I mean, I know that we talked a lot about like Go Sports and GI Sports. Like that's kind of like the clique or like the group of people that you're kind of have your inner circle. We talked about like NXL media guys. Like that's their own like inner circle and whatnot. That's like their collective. I mean, this is like the Media Gang podcast, and like you helped put together our logo, and thank you very much for that. Like,
yeah, no problem, man.
Super happy about it. We're a little bit curious of like what else do you know about Media Gang, or like what are your thoughts about it? Because we're trying to hear from everybody. You know what I mean? We're trying to make sure that we're doing the right thing and doing it right.
Yeah. So I don't know too much about it, to be honest. I know obviously y'all too. I know there's a couple other guys involved with it, but I don't really know the I guess like the goal behind it, besides just being like a crew of friends that take photos and stuff like that. I didn't really know if y'all's goal was to, try to be represented at events, or kind of like trying to do like what the NXL media does, where you just like, you have like a household name that's just like built behind it, and then there's photographers with it essentially.
So
unionize.
Yeah. We're going to create a union.
Tom Cole was actually made a comment about that. Maybe. Don't quote me. Yeah. That he's like, you guys aren't going to unionize on me, right?
That's fine.
But yeah. So what it is trying to do is like, I've been a paintball photographer for like not a super long time, and just like just started really shooting NXL events like last year. That last year was my first full season shooting events. So nobody really told me like how lonely being a paintball photographer is. You know what I mean? Like, like you are out there just like your own schedule, and especially like even if you stay with teams, like it's like, guys, like you guys have afternoon matches, I still have to be there like 7 a.m.
Yeah, the NXL, it is shitty at times.
Yeah. So before Chicago, just after Chicago last year, Sam hit me up. He was like, "What are you doing for World Cup?" I was like, "I don't know. Like, my friends from New Jersey might be going down, so I might stay with them. Not fully sure. Like, I'm going anyway, but they're kind of iffy." He goes like, "Well, Bryce and I were saying that let's get a house. It's super easy to get a house, and like we'll invite like our media friends." So, and that's where like the media house. I know that people did it in Vegas like earlier that year with some of the NXL media guys, but like this was like all independent contractors.
I see. So it's almost like a crew of people that can just like hang out and then kind of like just be together and stuff like that, and then actually have like a network of people that you can hang out with and like chit chat about, you know, photography or whatever.
Exactly. And it's so, and it also brings, because we have this centralized location, and now we can bring in like those cost benefits that teams have. Is like, all right, when a team flies in, it's like, all right, guys, we're getting one van, so now it's cheaper. And like,
I mean, not only that, like you got that many minds together, like just picking deals off of one another and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like, when you're at the NXL, I know at least I did, like, you know, I end up staying with some of the teams, but besides that, I was by myself, you know what I mean? Just like sitting in a hotel, waiting until the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people, like, I know Dane Hawkins, he stays with the struggle guys always because like he's super tight with them, and like he stays with them for free, and it makes sense. But like I know Stretch, like a lot of times, like he was staying in a hotel room by himself, or like Matt was staying with the newbies guys until like Grego started staying with the newbies guys. So now we have this house, so that like, dude, and I'll even tell you, like, both in not really in Vegas too much, but at Cup, there was a couple of times where like you would, for like 20 or 30 minutes, like it was just silence, and it was just everybody working on their computer, dumping cards and like doing some quick edits, like to the point that I was like, I yelled at Bryce. It's like, Bryce, put on a movie. Play, you brought your Xbox, play Call of Duty, do something. Like, it's too awkwardly like
everyone's just like grinding it out.
Yeah, it's just like, Jesus Christ, like this is too much. Like, something has to be like playing in the background. But yeah, so like it's nice. So like now, like instead of like everybody getting their own car, like for Cup, we had Stretch had his Mini, and then we had like 3 other vehicles.
So it's like definitely like can make it more cost effective and stuff like that, which at the end of the day can allow people to make a little bit more money. And,
a little bit more money, or like you don't have to work nearly as hard. Because I know like for some people it's like, like I want to work and like get paid, but at the same time, like it's a vacation.
You want to have a good time. Yeah. Cause see, that's what like the NXL ended up kind of being for me. It was just like, it just turned into a job. So like, it was fun to see people there, but it was like, I have to make so much money so that I can at least come out with somewhat of a profit. So I'm just like, just grinding.
I'm telling you, man, join the gang. Yeah. Dude, World Cup, like our the house at World
Cup. I remember y'all talked about it for Vegas.
Like $100 for like Wednesday through Monday.
Yeah.
For housing, and then like rental cars, like it was like on a per, like whoever you kind of stayed with, like even then it was like maybe like $50 or $60. Like like so like the housing expenses are like super cheap, and I handle like the housing, finding a house, and like some people like will help like give recommendations and stuff. But like I put up the money ahead of time, so like I make it very feasible for people to get money anytime. Like for Vegas, like we got our house for Vegas like the 1st or 2nd week of January.
Nice.
And I didn't get paid until from a couple people till like the end of February.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, like I can afford to put it on my card and like let it sit on my credit card for a little while so that people can wait. Like a bunch of people gave me money pretty quickly, so like it made it easier. And then like I was just like, all right, whatever, like I'll have to like dip into my savings, and then like I'll just replace when people get back to me. But like something like that, like for Vegas, like the house was 7 minutes away. Like it was so close.
Oh, that's super convenient.
We literally could have walked to the event if we wanted. It would have been a long walk, but we could have walked to the event if we wanted to.
Nice.
So like stuff like that. And like Vegas, we had 11 people. Cup, we had 11 people. Vegas, we had 13, or I think it was like 13 or between 13 and 15 people. And Dallas, like we were gonna have a couple. Like if the season actually like went through, I wouldn't have been surprised that by Cup, dude, we would have had like 20 or 25 people in the house and got like a big mansion.
Yeah, the goal is a mansion.
Yeah, the goal is a mansion. Like like big pool, and everybody has a bed. For those that want to sleep in a bed alone, like you have to essentially pay a little bit more money. But like you could, but like like that stuff into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe when the NXL comes back,
dude, 100%. We made that like Facebook like group for like all the like the photographers and whatnot, and then if Cup does happen, like we'll post up in there and like we'll make like an event page essentially. So it's like all the people that are in that group are the usual people, but like these are the people that are actually going to the event. So like we can coordinate a little bit better. The house, cars, normally like with the extra money that we get for the house, well, I'll end up collecting a little bit extra money, so that it's like necessities. So like paper towels, cases of water, cases of Gatorade, fruit snacks, like
makes sense.
We usually budget it like if we have a house and we know for a fact there's like 10 people that are going to go, but we make sure we find a place that can accommodate those 10 people.
Plus like an extra like 5.
Extras, an extra like 4 or 5, and then we just charge everyone the exact same thing, and that extra money from the 4 or 5 goes towards the entire house, food, drinks, water for the everyday snacks, stuff like that, and that helps
laundry detergent
too, because
people to clean their stuff.
Dinner one night, we decide we want steak. We have $500 towards that fund. Not saying that's happened, just it helps pay for things like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, like we had a cookout in Vegas, like a barbecue for Fava's birthday that we used the funds for. And bought like a birthday cake.
Saw the Instagram stuff with the cake and stuff.
We need Cup to happen because it's my birthday at Cup.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, man. I really don't. As much as people want to be optimistic, even if they try to split the weekends and try to do divisions and stuff like that, certain divisions on one weekend, certain divisions on another weekend. I think the way that Florida is right now, and then not just talking about Florida itself, and not to be a Debbie Downer, but then you have to think about the teams. They're hoping that their fields are open. They got practice, and then you got to fly.
Yeah, and then just real life after that, like because I know
there's a lot of moving parts to it.
If those teams moved to Florida, the fields would have been open still.
Shut up.
I mean, if they moved the NXL to like the Midwest and did it where it was like everything was more on lockdown and like chill, possible.
I mean, even still, like my buddy, he was supposed to be going to a bachelor party this weekend, and he just got put onto he's an engineer. He just got put on this as like a lead for like this project. It's like a huge project, and he told him, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to Maryland for my buddy's bachelor party. We've been planning for a while." He goes like, "Yeah, you really can't do that because we need you like in the office and on site." He goes like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, if you go to Maryland, you then have to self-quarantine for the next 14 days."
Like, well, not only to mention that, but then you got to realize the whole social distancing thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to we've seen the fields at the NXL. Like, it's crazy. There's people everywhere.
No shot.
It would almost be impossible.
Yeah. So
I think it'd be great, but I don't think this would be the time and place to do it right now in the midst of everything.
I mean,
it's fair.
As much as I hate to say it, I agree with you.
Yeah. Which I am surprising though, some of the local paintball's still been going on so much, and I think they've been doing a pretty good job of doing that in certain areas and stuff. So,
yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, this is like going back to the media gang stuff, like that's essentially what it is. It's a collective of the usual suspects going to NXL events, allowing us to get some cost efficiencies, like from a logistical
makes sense.
Concept. But like when we go to try to get hired in the marketplace, it's like media gang will always be there. It's like almost I don't know if you remember them, but Photo Mob. Like
I do not.
Okay, so Photo Mob and like obey.net, like it was look it up or like ask around about it 100%, especially like people that have been in paintball for a long time, like Matt D photography and like all these legends in like paintball photography, like they shot for Photo Mob, and like they would go to events, like it was just like this group of people that would always go to events.
Yeah, like people just knew who they were and stuff like that, and they had a reputable name and like quality.
Exactly. And the nice thing about it is like for media gang and what I'm assuming for Photo Mob is that like yes, we go to these events as a group, but everybody's still individual. Like everybody has their own individual pricing, like everybody has their own following, but it's now we can also still go in with like that collective clout, like almost like a unions, like
makes sense. Yeah, I like it.
So
I like it a lot.
It's a good time. The house is fun. Like it's a lot. I mean, it's a pretty cool group of guys. Yes.
That's the final question that we usually ask people. I didn't even know that was coming.
But yeah, I mean, no, I'm trying to be a little bit respectful respectful of your time. I know you got
Actually, been about an hour, so.
Yeah, exactly. I'm watching the clock.
No, we're good. We're good.
But I mean, do you have like any sponsors or any special people that you want to shout out that like helped you get you where you are?
I think, like I said, like the people that have helped me out a lot is definitely my local field, which is Paintball Fit, which is the Lucal family. I think they do a lot for not just for paintball, but for Texas paintball specifically a lot. They've really helped grow it out, and they have a great field out there. And anyone that wants to play out in Texas should definitely check them out. I think they're on top of their game and definitely doing pretty well.
Are they expensive? But, is it an expensive field?
Not really. Like, and you're getting a lot of amenities with it too. So it's like they have 3 fields. You have pro teams there, right? That are there all the time. So it's like if you ever want to meet AC Dallas or meet AC Diesel or learn from them, they're literally there all the time. And then I think it's reasonably priced. I mean, I believe it's kind of like the other places where it's like 50, 60 a case or something like that. I think it's like $20 entry, something in that range.
Jesus Christ. That just hurts my soul.
Yeah, I might be wrong. But I haven't I haven't played in too long. So what's nice also about them though is just their whole facility with everything being turf. And then they have like free water, free snacks. They have like a whole food area. They normally have food trucks there.
Time out. Y'all got free snacks?
Yeah, free snacks. They have like a whole area where they give like noodles, popcorn, fruit.
I'll say less. 100%. I'll throw everybody down to get free snacks.
They really take care of like the people that come out there and play and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
They're legit.
From the pictures of the facility, looks incredible. Like I've always it's one of the places that I want to go to like fly out and just like, I'll take a weekend to go play there.
Yeah, it's they're definitely like the top field in Texas in my opinion. I mean, I love X Factor, which is another field down in San Antonio, which is where X Factor.
I might be going there in the winter. Really? My cousin who's in the Air Force, she gets promoted to lieutenant colonel nice. Like on New Year's Eve. So like I might be there like that weekend before. And I already told her.
Alex runs it's a great field down there, man. Like they're solid, and the X Factor guys are always down there too, which is
I'm gonna probably go out there with Pickle.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, Pickle's a good dude. I like Pickle. Yeah. He's hilarious. He's much funnier than when I first met him. I didn't really know him that much, and I knew that he played, and I knew he had this the whole LMG thing, and just I didn't really get it. And when I finally met him, I was like, I fucking get it. This guy. He's super cool and he's super funny, and
he shoots down there, and then Nicole shoots down there. Monks off.
Yes,
she's down at X Factor as well.
Who also now shoots Sony.
Yes, I convinced her to get to switch over to go to the game.
I also did. It was hard.
Did you?
Yeah.
What are you shooting on?
Huh? No, I'm shooting on Canon, but she was like, everything she said, she was like, oh, I want this, this, and this. And I was like, Sony.
Yeah, Sony's the way to go. The only downside about Sony is just the cost of the lenses.
Yeah. That she originally got the adapted lens for it, and I told her I don't know how good it's going to be, and she's got it. Didn't work out for her. So
and then she ended up picking up that Tamron, that 70 to 180, and that lens is nasty.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to be switching over to that next.
Wait until I get this Canon R5 dough.
Yeah, I love Canon. I think it's a great company. I love that their lenses are just a lot cheaper, and I think Canon build quality is nicer than Sony. I feel like when I had my T7i and stuff like that, I could be more rugged with it, and paintball was a great avenue to test that out. And Sony, I'm on my tip and toes. I'm please don't shoot my camera. I'm terrified. It kind of scares me a little bit.
My Sam and I's friend, Aztec Photos, Dave, he's pretty good. He gets his R5. He does photography full time. He does a lot of concerts and stuff in the New York area. Lives out on Long Island, but he gets an R5 on his own personal R5 on the 28th, and he's going to shoot an event that weekend. So I told him, I was dude, as soon as you got it, shoot the event, send me pictures, let's talk through it, because I'm either going to go R5 or R6, so that because I bought my 7D Mark II from Vic with 100,000 actualizations on it that 2 years ago. Awesome. So it's it's about time for me to make a change. And with the R5 coming out, it's oh, this is the perfect time. The planets have aligned, and the sun and the moon is like, sounds like I'm getting an R5.
Yeah. I should say, Rob, we should end the live stream portion if we're finished with that.
Yeah.
And stay on here a bit longer if we want to talk about stuff like that.
So I mean, last thing is, thank you for like taking the time out of your day to.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Like, hopefully, the live stream does well and people learn a thing or two. And
it's been pretty consistent, around like 15 to 20 people throughout it. So we don't know how many people watch it total, but
pretty
good
consistency.
But yeah, I'm gonna stop it now. Peace out, stream.
Thank you all for watching.
Thanks again.